Okay, you see my egg? It is a sad egg today. Do you see it? It is one rotten egg, and I have to tell you why. And it makes me want to cry. But I poisoned somebody a couple of days ago with salmonella egg poisoning. You see how sad he is? He is the brother of the one who performed the dirty deed. You see, I fed a good friend of mine an egg, and it was open on top, and it had salmonella poisoning in it. And I am so very, very sad, and I know that this marks a point in history for me because I have never poisoned anyone before. I have never hurt anyone before, you know? Not in a physical way. I mean, I may have hurt someone with some kind of a comment, I suppose. I'd be a liar if I said I hadn't done that, I'm sure. But, he's very sick, and, I fed him an egg that was broke on top, and I cooked it, and thinking it would be okay, you know, because I thought I could get away with it, you know. And we had been fighting, and I thought, well, I would normally have ate the egg myself. I am not one for giving the other person the worst of something when I cook. You know, I always take the worst steak and, you know, whatever, you know. But this time we had been fighting, and I thought, well, I don't want that egg, so I'll give it to him. You know, because he had been very mean to me. But I don't, you know, I did not try to pay him back. I was not trying to deliberately hurt him, you know. I didn't have it in my heart, as God knows, that I was set out to poison him with salmonella poisoning, okay? I don't set out to hurt people, okay? It was an accident, basically. Well, because you see, one other time there was an egg that was in my garden, and it had been busted on the bottom, but no oxygen had gotten to it, and I cooked it up and I was fine, you know. I used to eat raw eggs, you know. I had a diet drink, or a health drink, that required you to put 2 raw eggs in it. I never got sick, but they weren't cracked, of course. And I get on the internet and find out that you should not cook a cracked egg. Duh. I mean, I kind of knew that, you know, really, basically I did, but I thought, well, we had just brought him home, and I had checked him, you know. When I buy eggs, I always check my eggs, because no one wants to buy broken eggs, you know, no one wants to pay for that. So I checked them, and they were fine. Well, he got a little rough with throwing them in the SUV, I think. And so when I got it home and we were going to have breakfast, and I saw that the top of the egg, just on the very top, it had an opening, you know, a little, like as if somebody took a little pick, you know. And I thought, well, you know, we just brought them home, and I know they weren't broke when I looked at them, and so that's probably okay, you know. It's been cold, you know. I didn't have any clue that it had any time at all to gather bacteria, you know. So it's my first poisoning, my first official poisoning, you know. So, I may not have dug my knife into his leather seats, or dug my key into the side of his four-wheel drive, but you mess with me and I might get you with the egg, okay? No, he was throwing up and diarrhea, and I feel this big, because I don't ever want to hurt anyone in that way. And we couldn't be, you know, kicking our brains around. It's like, what did you eat? What did you eat? We both ate the same things on sometimes, you know. And we're sitting there beating our brains, thinking, where could you have gotten this? And then all of a sudden, it was like this bright light went off in my brain, and I thought, the egg, that egg that you had a little shadow of a doubt of whether or not you should have cooked it up. Because I did. I had a moment, just a moment, where I thought, should I cook this up or not? You know? And I usually would have eaten it, because, you know, that's not how I treat people. I would have eaten that egg myself. But at the time, I thought, well, I think it'll be okay. But if it isn't, well, by golly, he was mean to me. But it wasn't like I planned on hurting him, okay, or trying to make him sad. I'm not the kind of person, you know. And I feel really, really bad. So that's my confession. So now he's sick with salmonella poisoning. I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm, you know, checking his temperature, and, you know, I wanted him to go to the hospital right away when I saw him throwing up. So I got a medical book and I read up on it, so to see if he'd be okay. And so I'm gonna check on keeping, you know, his temperature, and I talked to the pharmacist, and he said, you know, I was gonna get him something for diarrhea, and they said, don't do that, you know, let him, you know, he can't keep anything down right now, so let him make sure he's okay, and if not, he needs to see attention. So you know, isn't it weird how a little thing like that can take a person down, you know? I mean, I've never done that before to anyone, or, you know, I got food poisoning at Taco Bell. Sorry, Taco Bell, if you see this, but I got sick as a dog from food poisoning there. So I've been through it, and I know it's miserable. If anybody needs, you've been out there, no. But if any of you have any opinions about this problem, I've already talked to a pharmacist, you know, and I tried to talk him to go into the hospital if necessary, and he's not up to going yet, able to watch TV, and he drank some water, some Gatorade, and we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. But I'm the culprit. I'm the rotten egg giver. That's the only thing I can figure out, that maybe where he got it from, you know, because it was Thursday night, he got sick at work. But I feel so bad, I'm telling you, you know. I would not do that to anyone. That is not the type of person I am. So, but you know, if you ladies ever get really mad at your man, you could use the rotten egg thing. It's not enough to kill him, okay? But it is enough to make them miserable. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that on purpose. No, I'm not like that. You know, he's been mad at me before, and I don't take out revenge. I don't believe in revenge, you know. Keeps you out of a lot of trouble, you know. You don't want to go to jail, and it's not worth it, you know. No man is worth going to jail for, ladies. Let me tell you. So anyway, that is my confession of being a rotten egg. And as you see, my egg is painted with teardrops, you know, because I am sad. He is sad too. We would not do that to anyone, you know. And here I'm always telling him, you know, don't eat out at restaurants because you don't know what you're going to get. Toxic poisoning and all that stuff. What do? I do it myself in home cooking. Ugh. To my great shame. But anyway, I hope you will forgive me. And I have learned a very important lesson. I will never, ever, ever, ever cook an egg that is cracked again. But you know what? When you're a cracked up person such as myself, you may do something stupid such as that. Ooh, forgive me.